After an interesting third episode of Cody and Crosshair, we're finally back with the Bad Batch. However, we aren't back with all of them just yet, as we're having a racing episode to get through. So how does episode 4 of season 2 actually go? Faster. That's what it's called, by the way. Hey everyone, my name's Captain Jack and welcome to Star Wars Now. We're going to jump straight into it, but make sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos on the Bad Batch. Just like last week, beginning a departure from the norm of the Bad Batch, this episode was too. At least we're back with our titular group, but Hunter and Echo are away on a mission from Sid, which I'm sure we'll find out where they are next week. But it is interesting they are setting something up like that, and at the end of this episode as well. And when I was thinking about season 2 and what it might give us as a show, a racing episode is definitely not what I expected. It was definitely a fun episode with some good music and some tense scenes. Sid is a new racer in this pod racer-esque race called Riot Racing, which does feel like pod racing. It's basically a droid racer who's kind of a jerk and a bit up his own ass. Considering we're all seeing other races including a B1 and a commander droid, it's kind of fascinating that, what the racers are. If only Sid's new crew or new racer was a B1 as well, or B2, that would be funnier. And seeing our crew react and work with the B1 to help save Sid from Laggy is interesting. But yes, Teo as the new droid is kind of a jerk, losing a race which puts Sid up for life and on the line essentially, and then Tech, Omega and Wrecker have to fix him, and then he gets smashed up again. As you can expect, Tech eventually takes the place of Teo in the race, with the whole episode leading up to this foreshadowing of Tech analysing the race and talking about strategy and whatnot. It was easy to see this coming, and we also see it in the trailer. I don't feel bad for Teo seemingly getting hit and killed, I guess, which sounds bad, but I will say his design is cool. A unique droid with a rotating head is neat, but just a shame the personality is bad. When the episode finally gets to Tech racing, this is where the episode shines, and it's cool seeing Tech race and do something interesting. This could be the place the Bad Batch could end up with the group splitting off and just joining society. Tech will legitimately become a racer. We see people sharing his name at the end of the episode. And perhaps this is showing us what the Bad Batch is sacrificing, a new future for something else. We shall see where the series and this group goes, because they could just fade into the background. What this episode does, and does do really well, is raise a lot of questions that really weren't being raised before, mostly going with Sid. Can our group trust her? We meet DeWitton, called Gregor Manley, who has a history of Sid, referring to the good old days and just how similar he is to Sid himself, or at least was. Has Sid changed? Is this some sort of bait and switch make us think Sid will betray our group but actually won't, or will she actually betray the Bad Batch? This is definitely setting something up and we'll have to keep watching and eventually find out. Sid does say that she owes the group for helping get her back, and they have loyalty towards her, or at least Omega does, and they could have walked away at any time. But Sid does keep them paid and protected now that the Empire is about, so it's a mutually beneficial relationship in a sense. But what might happen if this relationship is less beneficial to Sid, or the Empire puts out a substantial bounty on Clone Force 99? We could see things change from that point. Okay, time for some final thoughts. This was a fun episode and does set up some stuff for the rest of the season. I just wonder if this episode might be better placed next episode or something like that, instead of the very next episode after we already left the Bad Batch, then had Cody and Crosshair. This could be slowly getting back into the swing of things and not going as big, but we will have to see in the events with Hunter and Crosshair and if they do lead to something bigger next episode. Or they just excuse to have the three in the episode and go off on a little adventure with Sid. It works. The episode was slow and set things up pretty plain to see in the first half, but like I said, when the racing side of Tech, it was really fun. The race commentator was confused about his name being Tech after a long introduction of races and their epithets. The strategy Tech employed for a battle was fun to see, and I would not mind seeing more of Tech racing or doing stuff like this. I mean, even using some of these skills he might have learned in this episode with Marauder, which is the Bad Batch's ship. Overall, this was a very relaxing, small-scale episode, and I think I'll have to see how this episode and it goes and what it sets up for Hunter and Echo, and especially how it sets up for Sid and what that plays out in later episodes. With this and the previous episode, it is definitely setting up what the latter part of the season might look like: betrayal, Cody, and much more. I am definitely going to look forward to that. In terms of small Easter eggs and things like that, did you hear the mention of Lothal Minor? This is actually a planet which Darth Maul was found on in the Clone Wars by his brother Savage Opress. Pretty cool little detail, and I'm sure there are many more you can find in the episode if you go and watch it. We're breaking these down and giving them out social media as well, so if you don't have any, then, keep a lookout because it's going to be pretty fun. Oh, we also saw BX series Commander droid, the one with red eyes, in one of the fighter cockpits as well, racer cockpits, which is pretty cool, alongside a B1 droid. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Okay, Exalt ones, that's of myself on Star Wars Now. A little bit of a shorter review today. I know. It's just one of those episodes we don't really have much to talk about. It's a good episode, but there's nothing groundbreaking, and doesn't really further the plot other than the idea of being betrayed and what we've mentioned so far. So keep that in mind. If you have any thoughts, share them with us down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news, lore, and more. You can also follow us on social media as well, but like I just said, make sure to let us know what you think in the video comment section below. For now, I've been Captain Jack. Thank you very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.